Question for you. If you met with a home seller and they said to you, I can't move forward due to interest rates, do you think that they in fact can move forward due to interest rates, or do you think that they believe they can't, so they won't?
I believe they can't, so they won't.
If somebody said to you, I can't afford to move because of interest rates, what would you do with them? I know you would under no circumstances try to convince them that moving was the only option they had, that they had to move, because you believe people ought to be able to make their own free choices and do what works best for them. But in so many cases, and you correct me if you don't agree, people think they can't do something real estate wise, but they really don't know all of the facts and the figures. They don't know everything. So what would you do to help somebody decide whether or not they could actually afford to move, even if they thought they couldn't?
Well, first is to understand where the struggle is. So I would just ask, tell me more.
So let me ask you this. What do you think on a scale of 0 to 100%, what do you think are the odds that someone who says to you, I can't move forward because interest rates are too high, what are the odds that they've actually seen all of the numbers in black and white?
Oh, 0.
So, and again, who knows what the number is, but it's way closer to 0 than it is 100%. And what's interesting is, and you probably have had this a similar experience, but when you sit down and you talk through the numbers, it's not unusual, say, for example, if you're working with a husband and wife, for one to look at the other and go, is that it? I mean, like, we're talking about putting our life on hold for $400 a month. And anyway, have you had some conversations like that and similar experiences?
I have. When I say 0%, I mean, it is rare for any real estate agent and any lender to have access to all the numbers. Every lender has different programs. Every
Yeah.
lender specializes in different grants and different features, and some do their own underwriting, some do manual underwriting. There is so much out there available to
Right.
buyers. Back to the question of have I had those conversations? Yes, I've had people, and it's because they typically just look at the calculator on Zillow. And that's as far as they get. And
Which
before
is way better
rolling
than
out,
it's way better than nothing, but it's certainly not the whole story.
it is not the whole story. And part of the story is, as we discussed in the first segment of this show, which is in Dallas, over 3,000 price decreases. A seller would gladly buy down an interest rate for the right price, right? So there's just there's so many scenarios.
There are a ton of sellers out there that would gladly give you $8, $10, $15,000, whatever it was, in order to buy that rate down so you could move forward. But in many cases, buyers don't even know that's an option. And in many cases, sellers don't know that they can contribute toward the buyer's closing cost and buy down their rate, and maybe could sell their house for more. So what happens is their real estate agent pushes them, your house overpriced, we got to drop the price. Well, maybe you shouldn't drop the price. Maybe you should offer a really low interest rate that would incentivize the buyers to move forward.